Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Free For All, the free-to-play series, part of the Hell Hades 2025 challenge. We welcome you. All right, so we've been pretty much, look at that, been pretty much reliably hitting Nightmare, Max Chest, 4 key. Though where the keys ability really varies. You know, sometimes it says, I think we got one as high as like 14 or 15 one time, but depending on affinity, you know, a lot of times it's just sticking around the ballpark of 10 mil. But that's good enough. That's all that matters. Okay, so we grind since the last episode. We went hard in that champ training event, and we got a pretty good amount of food and actually built up our next 6-star. And we chose to do Frozen Banshee. Now, I don't know how necessarily correct that call may or may not have been, but here was my thought was there were some other champions, you know, Coldheart still doing her thing, Morag's on the short list. It's just I need the clan. I want the clan boss team to be a little bit better. We need to start getting into the dungeons, and I think Dragon is likely our first place, but then also Fire Knight. I think if I 6-star Coldheart, I don't think it's gonna take me any higher in the Fire Knight currently. You know, for the most part, we can hit stage 18. It's pretty slow. 16's a little bit more reliable for us. I think if she's 6-star, I don't think it's gonna take me one bit higher. But in Dragon, once she gets her masteries and is just fully kitted for the thing, same with Ice Golem, I do think she's gonna take us. I think she'll take us a few more stages higher. So what we're gonna do here today is we're gonna see what she can do, because she's got some 16-star gear. And then, you know what, we might as well just pull that shard. We got 2 of them. I really want this Sishia. AoE burner could be huge. Force champion, we don't really have a whole ton of those. So really my ancients I have been pulling just kind of willy-nilly here. And we have a dragon tournament coming up, so this might be our opportunity where we first dive in and grind. But champ training, man, the champ training of tournaments could be huge. So we'll hang on to the books. We actually have a healthy little stock of them. Where are skills? Yeah, we have a nice little stock of them, so we can go ahead and finish out booking Alice, or at least close to it. And then here, he's taken a long time. Epic books haven't been as frequent as I wish they would have been. Okay, let's hit these shards quick. We haven't hit a legendary. I've seen plenty of other people pulling them. We apparently like hatchet slingers. I pulled a couple shards yesterday, and they are yielding the same results. Okay, just nothing. Ironclad. This is the guy with the funky passive. Yeah, it is. All right. That's okay. Okay. No Lego, no problem. We got plenty of champions to build, as you can see in our roster. Morag needs to get built up. Coldheart's going to be next, but then after that, Morag might be right up on that docket. And then actually Neldor, and then I've heard good things about Cornelia, but I'll probably go Neldor as is just because of affinity. And he's going to help me in the Fire Knight. Because he has this 2-hitter that can put the big decreased speed on, and then he kind of just stays alive. He doesn't have like a turn meter suppression for the regular Fire Knight on his A1, but I don't think that's a necessity. He's just going to help me kill the shield, and then the decreased speed is going to be huge. So we're gonna build him up here pretty quick. Actually, I might build him over Morag. It doesn't matter. We're so far from that right now, but tomorrow is going to be the day where we have to kind of think about that a little bit more. I think it's just time to, I haven't really tested myself with this. Skaramis could be good here, because he might help me control the waves, and I could see the waves being a bit of an issue. Let's make sure, well, not that we're going to be able to do much with it if it's not, but I do think Frozen Banshee, yeah, she's got a good amount of 16 gear. She's a bit slow. We just don't have much in this regen here. These two pieces are just kind of filling it. Like, this is a good piece. It's a great piece. This is an okay piece. It's a pretty solid piece for her. And then, yeah, this one's good too, but... So we're trying to no crit rate, and we're just going to try to see how much the poisons can do. So let's just take a trial and run and see how bad it is. So is Alice alone enough to control the waves plus Taragi provoke? That would be my biggest concern. This is likely going to be a pretty long run. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just keep the recording going, but I will probably tune you guys out of it here, and then kind of just either pick back up at a critical point, or hopefully at the boss when we're at the end. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, I just got a res off, but we just got kind of worked there. We did survive it, but this is also a stage that we're not necessarily trying to farm, and we're just terrible affinity, so I'm hoping we're gonna be able to survive past this. It is wild how many of these hits are just weak hits. It just seems like it's everything. But one thing that does kind of slow the round down, and it's real annoying, is it feels like I don't know, like sometimes like everybody will be kind of picking on like this guy, but then Alice will pick on somebody different. It's like, just commit to one person, you know what I mean? So but the support here is close. I just don't know if Taragi's gonna make it through or not. It's just gonna be a matter of whether we can get back to his heal without him dying. But luckily, 3 of these people here are in regen or Guardian. That kind of makes it possible. I'm gonna click back on auto and just have them pick on this guy here. We just need to survive this round, because I don't particularly see Dragon Hard 1 being much harder than this. It might actually be easier just because of affinity. So okay, we'll break back in when we get the boss. And just like that, yeah, we need a little support getting through the waves. I don't know, I have to think, because all I have is magic champion, so not the end of the world. I think what we're gonna have to do is just kind of keep picking away at it. It's frustrating, because I know once we get past oops, wrong thing. I just know once we get past this bad affinity, we should be able to cruise through it. But in the time being, 24 won't be a bad place for us to get some gear if we're looking to do that tomorrow. Okay, so keep in mind in the back of your head here that we don't have masteries on Frozen Banshee yet. Okay, so that's a real important part of this. And her accuracy should be good enough, though. She is booked up. And that fills the turn meters of all allies by 2% for each debuff on the target. Is that worth me running at all? Probably not. I don't know if she even uses that. We'll have to experiment. Tell me down below if you have experience with Frozen Banshee. Is it worth me using this? I mean, it could be like a nice little 20% turn meter fill, right? If the bar is filled up. In between Taragi pumping out poisons and Frozen Banshee, there's not really a whole lot of other debuffs, though. Decrease attack. That's about it. You know what? We can go ahead and try it. The thing is, I want her to use this at least right away. Let's turn it off. And then let's see. Far from. And actually, once I can get his 6-star masteries, I want to try to squeeze. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I would like to try to squeeze Skaramis into the team. Strictly because he's got a decreased attack that's more reliable than Taragi's. So maybe we actually just test out both champions at some point today. Dawncaller's got that Ally Protect set, and maybe we just do this. She does. The only thing is, what we're gonna have is a variety of like support. Like now we're not getting increased defense, but we're gonna get a more reliable decreased attack, and I think that's probably more important. So we'll just prioritize that. He's got a little bit of self-sustain too, and then once he gets masteries, the counterattack may be relevant. You know what? Let's not do too much right now. Let's just stick with Dawncaller. Strictly for the sake of, then we get to compare apples to apples a little bit better, okay? So let's go ahead and see what this run is. I don't manual hardly anything. I don't really feel like I have the time. Although sometimes in the faction wars, I'll stop stuff and just try to beat a particular stage. Okay. So now, so she's already got quite a bit of poison. So we're just kind of hoping that this is gonna stay with it. And so how fast does she cycle back to that? I don't know what the turn meter is on it. So we actually maybe want to open with like the A2 just to get, see, like none of those poisons stuck on her are on the clan boss, because it's like out of sync to some extent. Like we just went 2 turns with the poison sensitivity up and no poisons up. So maybe we just want to open with a different ability. That's kind of what I'm noticing right off the bat. Alright, but we got a good chunk of little damage already, so see, now none of them went to waste there. Okay, this is a problem though if she's going to be the stun target, as she's our primary damage. Oh boy. Okay. So it seems to me that the A2 doesn't seem relevant because we're not putting enough abilities up. Okay, so not always the stun target here. So I do think, like I said, it's going to be worthwhile for us to not start with her A3 and maybe start with just like her A2 randomly, just for no particular reason. Just because then the clan boss will get a hit with, probably get some poisons from Taragi, and then those are right away getting poison sensitivity up, because it seems like we're missing the opportunity a lot. Like, unless we can get her to cycle through a turn here, which she does occasionally. Part of it is we're just not speed tuned, but I'm just not going to do that, if I'm going to be honest right now. So we're about halfway to our where we normally do to damage. I don't really know how many turns we tend to last, though, is kind of the thing. So we might just be missing Kale's War Master procs. If we can make her faster, that would be great. I could see a world where this just ends up being about like a similar run, but right now I think we're on pace to actually go under. It just all depends when the hits start changing from decent to huge. Okay, so there's the first person down. We got to revive. Okay. Probably all falls down from here, right? So we're in the ballpark of like a similar we're in the ballpark of like similar damage. It's not gonna be the same, but if once we get War Master, I'm confident that it goes up. So for right now, she's gonna have to stay out of the team until we get those 6-star masteries. But I mean, for no masteries, that's pretty good damage. Like, imagine if she's getting War Master procs additionally on top of that. Plus, I think we could set her up for slightly better like tuning. Do we have a key in here? We don't have a key. I don't wonder why we used those from CVC up. Okay. So looking at that, you know, we're still a ways out. We've been most of our energy has gone into that, so I was kind of hoping that we would be a little bit more than that. We're not really speed tuning, so I think I'm okay with this ability here, just trying to get her as many turns as possible. And going back, and yeah, okay, so not 100% there yet, but we're getting close, and obviously getting souls for her are going to be significantly easier than any of the other champions. But we're going to continue to brew up some champions in the Guardian Ring sparring pit while we work through that. But yeah, looks like we got quite a bit of work to do, unfortunately. And then, you know, if on the side, probably tomorrow we'll start hyper focusing towards another 6-star again, now that we got a big pile of rares that we're probably just going to be thrown away. I've considered doing something with and I don't think I have the other one that you can farm from campaign, just because they're like a duo, and I don't know, it looks like they could be pretty good for faction wars, but I don't know if I just want... The thing that I'm trying to avoid desperately is like overextending myself. Like, I got a good roster of champions, I just need to build them and make sure that they're good. But part of it is I'm lacking some gear, and I was kind of hoping tomorrow would be the day I grind some gear out, but the problem is there's a champ training tournament, and I don't want to let that go to waste. Normally those have the best rewards. But all right, folks, that's a good little update on the account. Hopefully you enjoyed that. There was no Soli Voids this week because Thursday was just kind of a tough, when Soli Voids normally comes out, was kind of just a tough day. As we had a basketball game that started later than normal. Then I had like a work potluck thing that I had to go and get like food prepared for. It just kind of extended the day longer than I wanted to in the morning and in the evening. So that was the reason, no other particular reason. So otherwise we'll have Soli Voids tomorrow, and we should be right back on track. My last game of the years this upcoming week, so then hopefully we can start having a little bit more reliable stuff content come out, and I don't have to have little gaps like that. Otherwise, appreciate everybody stopping in. If you haven't subscribed already, hopefully you guys know how helpful that is for me and my account. Trying to push to 500 is where we're looking at, so don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you on the other side.